Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Percy. So, I'm gonna take a break on the Pluto and Daisy tutorial just for a second. I've been getting a comment recently, I'm not exactly sure who suggested it, but I don't know if it's the same person or not, but they have been asking me to make a tutorial on eyes or give some tips on how to make eyes in general, and I thought, you know what, I'll take a break from the character tutorials for a second and go back to a tip tutorial really fast. Now, I know I'm not some kind of awesome art professor, art teacher, or animator, instructor, or anything like that, but you know, I have been drawing for a while and I know some tips about eyes that I have come to find within my drawing career, and I've been drawing for 11 years now. So, when it comes to eyes, it all just depends on your face. So when you draw a face for the first time, like this, let's say, alright, here's my guideline for the side of my face, like we always do, and just like that. So here's our chin, here's the ridge of our face. Whoa, I'm gonna kill my thing, hold on. Okay, the number one tip you wanna know about eyes is, okay, so here's the top of my head, let's pretend. Here's some bangs up here and everything, and it's the same with men or women. I mean, this could be a man with awesome bangs like Harry Styles, I don't know, but it's the same thing always. What you're gonna do is you just need to figure out where the midline of your face is, and of course I always include like where to put eyes. So see, there's the middle of my face right there, and then I have my eye guidelines like I always tell you guys in my tutorial videos. And in these guidelines is where you generally want to put your eyes. Now, with the eyes, when placing it and everything, you want to make sure they're not too close and they're not too far away. So here's, overall, this line, this is the ridge of my nose. So here's my nose right here, okay? There's the nose. Now, where do I want my eyes to be? So when you look at your face in the mirror, are your eyes too far away, where I'm gonna put an eye here, and I'm gonna put an eye right up here? How ridiculous does that look? It does look ridiculous, and it looks like a character off Adventure Time. I don't know, or SpongeBob. That looks like a SpongeBob fish. Anyway, so we don't want that. So in a way, like I said, guidelines are always your best friend. When you're sketching out your eyes and everything, you gotta figure out where it's gonna be placed first, and how big your eyes wanna be. So that's why I always do shapes like this, that it looks like an actual sunflower seed, and then I look over here and I have to figure out where in the world is my eye gonna go? Is it at the edge of my face? Well, let's see. I have my forehead here, and we usually have this indent, and then we have a cheek, and it goes down into our chin. So I need to figure out where my eye is going to be. Does it come off the side of her face like that? His or her, who I don't know what this thing is yet. Or does it come like, does it leave a little bit of room where we have that little bit of skin showing right here with eyes? Okay, then after I give my little guidelines a little bit, maybe I want to make it a little bit smaller, like this. See how I just did that and everything? You just always have to look. And then always, like, you can even make it smaller. Does the eyes curve up if you want to give it a little bit more of a shape and everything? Like this. And come over here, and the trick is to always match the other side, of course. And when you're on the other side of your face, when you're drawing it like this, that is when you want to go ahead and just like let the eyelashes flop out to the side like this. And usually when I do something like that, I do leave room for like a little bit of an eyelid going on and everything. When you're drawing in the center of your face, like this, let's say, alright, so we have to draw a center of the face. So I always like to give a little guideline like this. It looks something similar like this. And then I just build up around it from there, what I want to do with it. So I pick my guidelines. So we're going straight down the face right here. Here's my bottom eye line, and here's the top eye line, just like that. So then guess what's in the middle of my face? Especially, this is the biggest trick I have ever learned. If you are drawing a realistic portrait, I always suggest before you lay anything out, always start with the nose. You build up because it's technically the center of the face, so you're building up around it and everything. But when it comes to eyes, when you're drawing for like animation and everything, you always have to figure out, well, you know what, I don't want my eyes, once again, to be too close. Unless you're drawing a caricature or someone, but if you're drawing like a Disney princess or something like that, go ahead and get rid of this. So let's say, all right, here is the bottom of my nose and here's my nostrils off to the side, whatever, like that. So I don't want them to be that close like this. So it's always like nice to go ahead and put like 2 designated spots, just so I know, this is how far I want them to be. So I give them that overall guideline of a look and everything, and then that's when I build up around them and everything, about where to place them and everything. When it comes to actually making an eye, I always start with the top lash first. Always start with the top eyelash. If I'm just starting off with eyes and then I build up around it instead of actually drawing my face and then making my guidelines and everything, I always start with the eyelash first. See, the top eyelash, and then of course I come down just a little bit like this, and then I go out like that. For instance, let's take Megara's eye for a second. Meg from Hercules. So I always start out like this, where it goes up. So you go ahead and you at least sketch that top line like that. Okay, and then of course you can go ahead and piece it together. So like I said, I always like to start with the top eyelash, and then I put on the bottom one and everything. So then you need to figure out like where is your pupil going to go and everything. So wow, my apartment's haunted, I swear. So when you actually draw out your eye and everything, you have to figure out, how big is my pupil? Are my pupils huge, like this big, like you know how Rapunzel has ginormous eyes, or Elsa or Anna, just like this? It's always about like sketching it out and where you want to go and everything with it. And of course, eyelashes is always a thing too, but my best tips I can start you off with is draw the top eyelash line and draw the bottom eyelash line, and then you just fill it in all over the place, just like that. So that's the way you figure it out and everything. Now, for placement of the eyeballs and everything, like I said, always start with your top eyelash line. Then of course you bring it down like this, and then that's always a great way to start off as well, is to go ahead and draw off the side. So I got top, side, and then I originally go around to bottom and everything. So once again, it's always a pupil placement where you want to go. Maybe she's looking up, so maybe her eyelashes are upward, like this. I didn't mean to draw that up there. It was too much excessive eyelids like that. Eyelash. And then always, when you are trying to figure out where the light is hitting your eyes, so where am I going to put the shine in my actual pupil? Where is the light hitting? Let's say the light is hitting directly down here. So maybe you want to put a shine here, and then a shine right here, and a shine right here. You know, it doesn't even matter. You can experiment as much as you want. You can make it as pretty as possible. But after you make the shine, that's when I go ahead and I make my pupil like that. And then around my pupil, it's always technically where the light is hitting, it's nice and light, and then off to the side, it's always darker. Or sometimes the eyelashes are so thick, it's casting down a little bit of a shadow from the side. And you always want to build up around the shine. Maybe you like to wait for the shine first, and maybe you're just like, let's jump over to this eye right here, where I go ahead and I pick my pupil just like that. So I pick my pupil like this, and then I build up around that like that. And this is what I usually do on my tan tone paper and everything, where I actually go ahead and color everything in. That's when I come in with my white gel pen and I go over that space. But with pencil, you can actually go in and get rid of that shine places and where you want to put your shine and stuff. And then you can go in and build up just a little bit more shadow and everything, and then make it like that. And now another thing that I want to come across when you're drawing eyes is eyelashes. How thick is the eyeshadow on your characters and everything? Like I said, over here we have Megara from Hercules, Meg. So she's got a pretty thick one-sided eyelash like this, and it's pretty thick in the corner of the eye. And of course her pupil does come off to the side big time over here, like that. Okay, her eyeshadow is ginormous, so her eyelid is huge. So you just have to figure out how big is your eyeshadow, your eyelid line and everything. How squinty are the eyes? How round are they? Now if we're making like a huge, like big eye, like this, see? Once again, I immediately started with my top line here, and then I put my bottom one here, and then I connect it. Let's say this is my big ginormous eye and everything, and I have my eyelashes like this, my bottom. I can get a little bit of eyelashes down here, and then of course I draw my pupil. Let's say I'm gonna put my shine here and shine here. Typical anime eye at the moment. So then I have this ginormous eye, so she probably doesn't wear that much makeup, so I'm just gonna make my eyelid just a line up here and down and hiding behind. And that's when I would come in and I darken things up a little bit more. And you just build up around that. Everything always starts off with a guideline. So for another example, like I said, let me go ahead and I draw Merida's eye. So at first I look at my reference and I see that she has a little bit of curve off to the side, up and there. And that's when I say, okay, so I made the top line, eyelash line for my eye. So then I look at my little reference again, and I see that she does have a really closed corner in her eye, and that's when I would make my bottom eyelash line, just like that. And then after that, that's when I would go ahead and I'd fill more in, just like this. Okay? And after that, that's when I would figure out, where is my pupil gonna go? Where is she looking? So let's say she's looking at something over here. I'm trying to point like this. What the heck? So she's looking at something over here. So I want she's hardcore looking over here at something. So my direction of my eye needs to go over here. So here is my overall iris, and I have to figure out where my pupil's gonna go. So she's really, really like, hello, I just broke my neck to look at something. And you know Merida, she probably heard a crack in the woods, and she's like, no, what is that? So here's my pupil. Oh, and that's another thing. Your pupil size is always determined on your character as well. Either they have teeny tiny pupils like this, usually when a character is scared, or in general, if a person is scared and they're like, whoa, what is that? Or they're really startled, their pupils go like really, really small, okay? But if they're just relaxed and everything, then their pupils are probably ginormous, like that, just a bit. So it's always determined on what your character is doing or what is going on. So if she's looking off to the side right here, maybe the light is hitting down from this way. So let's say in general, I want my eye shine to be here, and maybe I want a little bit of eye shine right here. And then once again, I would go ahead and build up around that. So since she's looking out like hardcore this way, and the light's hitting down this way, it's probably darker in the corner of her eye. So I want to adjust my shading and everything built up around that, just like that. And I always like to give like little half crescent moons to the pupil, just like to make it darker off to the side and make like a moon shape almost, just to give it a little bit more shading and it looks a little more dimensional and everything. So Merida has itty bitty eyelid lines, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I just go a little bit above like that. It could even be closer if you wanted to. It all depends on you and what you want to do when you are drawing it. So at the corner of her eye, she doesn't have that thick of eyelashes, but say, all right, I have my top eyelash line over here. So what I do is I give it a good like start from here, and then that's when I would go ahead and build up around that. It's all up to you how you want, how thick. Maybe I don't want her to have a bottom eyelash line where I give little itty bitty lines and stuff. But of course that's up to you once again, if you are creating your own character or if you were creating your own your reference to your character. I don't know, you're making your own character out of Alice, but it's your style in your own way. Well guys, I really hope this was some sort of help. It's just a little video on some tips on how to make some eyes and everything. I really hope this helped. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will all talk to you later next week. Bye!